So we have a 2014 Toyota Corolla. It's the big S model, so it comes with some bells and whistles. One of the things is navigation system on the radio, and if you look here, I don't know if you can see that, it's a model 100-150, which comes with navigation. Unfortunately, when you start it up, it just stays with the Toyota symbol and does not go any further. So we're going to try to replace that. So first thing you have to do is pry along the corner here. This will pop out. This vent comes out. These vents stay. And then you just pry along the top here. And the whole thing will pop out, including the edge point pieces there. And the whole thing just comes straight out. Once you have it out, there are a couple clips to unplug. There's a clip right here, and that is for your airbag light. And a clip over here, which is for your hazards. I will say, do not start the car or turn the power on with your airbag light unplugged, because it will activate your airbag light. When you unplug the hazards, you're not actually unplugging the giant gray switch, just the small piece in the back. Then there are 4 10mm bolts on each side of the radio that you need to take out. Once that's done, the radio should pull straight forward. So here's the back of the radio before I unhooked it. Okay, so here's the new radio. Yes, I know I'm working on top of a garbage can. Don't judge me. Here's the new radio. It does not have the navigation. And it is part number 100570. But the seller told me this would replace this radio without the navigation unit. So here's the one I took out. And you can see the top connectors seem to be the same. I just don't have this bottom piece. So hopefully it'll line up. You also have these brackets on the side that you have to replace. I believe those are 8mm. So we're going to take those brackets off and put them over here. Just make sure you note which hole the screws go in, because there is a hole here, but if you note, there's no screw in it. I ended up not putting these brackets back on because I believe all they do is hold on the navigation unit, which I don't have. Because if you look over here, they just hold onto the bottom navigation unit, and the radio over here, all I have is the radio. So I'm going to leave this wiring harness on the navigation unit / radio and go put the other radio in the car. Okay, here's the radio hooked back up. And if I go over here to my old radio, you'll see I have the white and the brown going down navigation. This one I put an X on because it had nothing hooked to it. So if I go back to the radio, you'll see I should be in good shape, because this is the one I have an X on the radio over there. And then there's the white. There's the white, and the brown, which go down to the navigational unit. Okay, you just line everything up. There's these yellow tabs around here, I think you saw on the radio. They have to go in their slots, and you push them back in until the bolt holes are kind of lined up, and then we'll just put in the bolts. Actually, before I bolt it in, I think I'm just going to hook up the airbag back to the light and turn on the car and see what we got. All right, the airbag light's plugged back in. Everything's gingerly in place, so let's start it up. That's a whole different screen. Let's see what it does. Not sure what the boot light is for, but hopefully that's a good sign. Maybe it's pairing to the car or something. Okay, that's where mine would get stuck. Ooh, good sign. FM. And we got radio. All right, we just gave it a gentle thump all around. Plugged back in our airbag security light. Hazards back in. They work. So let's start her up one more time. I don't think that's going to do it every time. I did unplug it again to tweak the bracket a little bit. It wasn't quite fitting in the hole. So once that boots up, we'll turn it off and back on again and make sure that the radio doesn't take that long to respond every time. But I have to say, overall, if this works, this was a pretty easy project. It wasn't too bad. I'll link in the description. I'll put where I got the radio from and all that good stuff. All right, as you can see, we have radio again. So let's turn the car off. Let's fire it back up, and the radio should come on without all that booting. Volume works. Let's find an actual station here. Hopefully I don't get booted off for heaven. But the radio works, so next I'll try the Bluetooth and hopefully everything is good. All right, there you go. I was able to pair my phone. So that was pretty easy. And the backup camera works. So overall, pretty easy project. I hope someone finds it useful.